So hello everyone, and good calcium here. I'm here to just do a little sort of guide tutorial to Leoric the Skeleton King, because really quick he became my favorite hero in the game. So I even changed my battle tag to good calcium, and I just love this guy so much. So I've played a few games with him. I've got around a 70% win rate in solo queue, I think. So let's just get right in. So first up, we're going to take a look at his talents, and I'm just going to go through what I usually pick and in which situations I pick it, why I pick it, why I like it, why I don't like it. And I got time, so I'm going to go through each and every talent. So first up is Mana Thirst. I don't usually pick this one, but because Leoric, if you take some other talents later on, you'll see that you don't really need mana regeneration that much. So this one you can pass. I mean, I don't really see any situation in which this is necessary, because his abilities, they have really long cooldowns. No point, in my opinion. Next is Hopelessness, and this is good because of the move speed slow. But later there's a talent which removes the slow, so if you pick both, then great, it means it's really good, but not really. Next up is Block, and this is, in my opinion, one of the two viable ones, the other being Reanimation. And this one is sort of, used in most tanky builds for most tanky characters. If you want to, survive team fights, if you want to get in there, be the tank. And I don't usually pick it because that's not the Leoric I like playing. But if it's for you, then cool. But in my build, I always go Reanimation. I really like this ability, and it's really fun to just go globe hunting, go crazy with it, and then late game you're just pretty much invincible. You just see your health regeneration go up like really fast. You can solo merc camps, you can do all sorts of good stuff. So, it also makes you kind of tanky, so, block. But, I don't know. I pick Reanimation. Next here we have Fealty Unto Death, which I use often because I like to play sort of siege Leoric, not too much, because that's how I see him as a hero. And basically what this ability does is you just clear minion waves and it makes you stronger, so it synergizes with Reanimation, kind of. And this also makes you way more bulkier, way more survivability options. And so Leoric has, as you can already see, a bunch of talents that basically just improve his survivability, which is kind of ironic because his passive is being dead, so whatever. And next, the other viable one in my opinion is Willing Vessel, which increases Drain Hope healing, so another one for survivability, and really improves Willing Vessel in my opinion. So if you're in a team fight, you just pop this on a, say, Johanna, and you just heal really, really quick. Next up is Hardened Bones. Take less damage during Wraith Walk. I almost never use this one, to be honest, but it's kind of used for escape. That's basically all it's used for. If you need to escape, use this. And then Wraith Walk cooldown reduced if you take no damage, roll focus. I think this one's pretty bad, because if you're already Wraith Walking, it means you're in the middle of some enemies, so pretty useless in my opinion. Next up, Ghastly Reach, increase the range of Skeletal Swing by 25%. I think the range is already really big. Don't really see any reason to buff it more. But you could do that if you want, but not for me. Then Wraithwalk lasts 60% longer. I've never picked this talent, to be honest. And just looking at it, I can see why you'd pick it, because this kind of enables something I've been trying to do with Wraithwalk, which is like check out an area and then retreat back to your body. Because, when you're in Wraithwalk, it grants vision. But, probably not, in my opinion. There's better talents in this block, so, no. Next up is Paralyzing Rage, which is my favorite. Increases the movement speed slow with Skeletal Swing to 60%. This just makes it a really good slow. And, you know, you can use it, it's a slow. You can use it with Wraithwalk, get up behind them, slow them down, secure the kill. You can use it to save a teammate by slowing down the pursuers, all sorts of good stuff. And there's Usain Renewal, which heals 20% of your maximum life over 6 seconds. Can be used while escaping or while in team fights for added survivability, but I think the main thing this thing is used for is that you can use it while undying to revive faster, which is another thing that Leoric does that makes him pretty special, reduces death timer. I'm pretty sure that people use this in tank builds or in most builds. It's definitely a popular talent, sorry. But the way I use Leoric is Paralyzing Rage. Next we have Leoric's ultimate abilities, and that's Entomb and March of the Black King. Now both are really cool, really viable, but if you're doing solo queue, definitely pick March of the Black King unless, well, let me just say, it depends. Entomb is used if your opposing team has no good escapes. So they have no teleports, they have no, you know, get out of here quick. And it's also used to block them from escaping. If they're low health, they're about to get away, you entomb them, secure the kill, get some extra XP. So yeah, that's good. And with a good team composition, if you're in a team, you're not solo queue, and everyone's doing teamwork, it's going to be used to, you know, put around 2-3 enemies in and just get a little wombo combo going. And then March of the Black King is a really good heal, a really good damage. It can be used to finish off. It can be used, well, my favorite way to use it, if they're running away, March of the Black King, they're still trying to get away, but you're marching with them. So, you know, and it heals. So if you're about to die, March of the Black King into the enemy team, and then quickly Wraithwalk out. Now, I'm not saying you should do that 100% of the time, but if it's like a desperate measure, that's what I try and do. It doesn't work all the time, though. Next talent, we have Burning Rage, which is definitely something to go for if you're going the siege build. And, you know, it just makes you really quick at wiping out minion waves. Crushing Hope, bonus damage if it finishes. I guess if you picked some other Drain Hope talent earlier on, this could work. But not for me, because, you know, because you have to choose between this and removing the move speed slow. And removing the move speed slow would make this pretty good, but they're in the same block, so you can't really do anything about that. So I'd pick Drain Momentum, which removes the move speed slow. It makes Drain Hope really good now, because now you can use it to like Drain Hope the Johanna as she's chasing you and then run away, and you know, you get insane heal, and you might even turn the situation around and be chasing the Johanna. And there's the Spell Shield, which is used in a lot of tanky builds. It's, you know, well, not tanky builds specifically. It depends on the matchup, of course. If they've got a lot of, you know, ability spanning people like Kel'Thuzad, this is good, or Jaina, or whatever. You know, whatever you want. Next block, we have Renewed Swing. Never really tried this one, to be honest. 50% damage. I mean, it's good if you want to slow him a lot, but, you know, because I guess it synergizes well with the increased move speed slow from earlier, but, you know, not really. There's better talents in this tier, specifically Consume Vitality, which, you know, you should always use on minion waves to just heal up around 20% of your health, is it? No, 10%, sorry. So you restore 10% of your max health, and effective while undying. So now you can heal yourself up while undying by hitting minion waves and slowing them down. That's something I don't see a lot of people do when it comes to undying, slowing down the minion waves. Because, you know, I guess it's pretty useless, but, you know, if you've got nowhere else to be useful, then, you know, do that. Because it slows down the minion waves, slow them down from getting to your minion waves, give you a bit of extra time to do pretty much nothing, but okay. Don't know where I was going with that. Then there's Unyielding Despair. Every second Drain Hope is active, its cooldown is reduced by 1 second. That's pretty good. I mean, if you're in a team fight and you just want to spam it and you want to just, really survive, because maybe you've been going more offense than defense, and this, it's an offensive and defensive at the same time sort of ability. So I don't know, maybe. Never really tried it either. Opposing presence. Enemies that attack you have their attack speed slowed by 50%. I guess that, if you're the tank, then they're going to try and focus the assassins. So they're not really going to be prioritizing you, as far as, in my experience at least. I mean, if you're lower rank, lower MMR, then this is good. Because, if they don't know any better and they attack Leoric instead of Vala, then it's good. Then it's pretty good. But, in this tier, I think, in my opinion, Consume Vitality is the best way to go. Then at level 20, definitely Spectral Leech. Such a good talent, just makes you way better, gives you more damage, gives you more heal, gives you pretty much everything that makes Leoric good. Buried Alive, Entomb damages enemies. I guess if you're trying to entomb a Nova or a Zeratul, well, definitely not Zeratul, you can just escape. But if you're trying to get a Nova in, maybe. I don't know. March of the Black King implies Drain Hope. It just basically increases the healing effect of March of the Black King, which I guess that's most of the reason people use March of the Black King. I don't know. I almost never pick this because Spectral Leech is just so good that it cancels out anything else. Hardened Shield, activate to gain a shield. If you're going full tank, maybe. But it's pretty hard to pass off Spectral Leech, and I pretty much never do. So that just about wraps up the talents. Let me just go through once more what I pick 90% of the time. Reanimation, Fealty unto Death, or Willing Vessel, Paralyzing Rage, March of the Black King, then Drain Momentum and sometimes Burning Rage, then Consume Vitality, and Spectral Leech. So that wraps up the talents, and let's move on to the actual abilities, and I'll just give some, some feedback on when I use it, how I use it, stuff. So Skeletal Swing is an AoE slow, and it can be used against enemies to slow them down, to stop them from retreating, or to stop them from attacking, as I said before. The thing I usually use for in that respect is I like to hide in the bushes at the side of the lane, and as my teammates are running away, I just pop out the bush, slow them, and wraith walk away. So that kind of saves some lives. But usually you're going to use it to slow people down. If you're not using it on heroes, the other awesome thing about this is that it deals double damage to all non-heroic sources. So this can be used very effectively to clear minion waves, to push towers, push forts, and get that boss, get that grave golem, enemy grave golem. So really good. Next up, Drain Hope. So pretty self-explanatory. It slows you down until you get the talent, which is pretty annoying because it removes the potential of it from being used as an escape tool. Heal yourself up as you escape. But the way I use this, or the way you should use this, is you should always search for the one that has the most health. So you're going to want to pop this on Muradin, and you're going to want to pop this on Johanna, and it's going to heal you for a massive amount, but also damage them for a massive amount. Because 25% of Muradin or Johanna's health is just massive, really, really massive. And as in massive, it damages them, and massive, it heals you for the same amount. So that's epic. And if you get the increased healing talent, makes it just amazing. Really, really good. Sustain in a team fight. Wraithwalk, I think, is pretty kind of like Sylvanas' E as well. Or is E? Yeah, is the E. Okay, Sylvanas' E. I think it's much better because it'd be pretty okay, but the 50% move speed acceleration just makes it really good. I like to run into a bush. If you're escaping, let's say the scenario is you're being chased by 3 enemies. You run into a bush so that they have a little bit of time to think, where are you? Then you quickly wraith walk over to the lane or whatever to safety, and then quickly tap E. It can also be used to if you're caught in a bad spot. If you're, for example, suddenly you see the butcher running up to you, quickly wraith walk. And you'll still get stunned, but the wraith walk isn't affected by that because you're unstoppable now. So butcher, before it hits you, like around just really before it hits you, quickly wraith walk and wraith walk back, and the stun won't affect you. So that's really good. An annoying thing about wraith walk, in my opinion, is that you still get body blocked, as far as I'm aware. So if you're trying to run through enemies using wraith walk, not gonna work. They can still body block. That's really annoying. And it's not just a defensive ability, of course. You can also use it to, chase enemies and then hit them with a skeletal swing, which is something that, you should be trying to do. It's really good. Finally, Leoric's trait, Undying. Now, I've seen some bad Leorics who just, they think that this is equal to being murky. It means death means nothing. No one cares. Don't do that. Please don't be that kind of Leoric. Your death still counts as a whole death, okay? And it's really annoying if you try and do stuff like that. So what you should be trying to do with this is heal yourself up using the Drain Hope, and later the Skeletal Swing, as I mentioned before. So basically what you're going to want to do is, again, look for the Johanna, look for the Muradin, look for the tank. You're going to want to Drain Hope them up, get their health. And another really good tip on this is that you can use your Hearthstone while Undying. I've seen so many Leorics. If they're not one of those people who think they're invincible and death doesn't matter, then they're sometimes one of the Leorics who thinks that they can just respawn right next to the enemy and it doesn't matter. And it's always pretty cringy when I see that, like Leoric's just spawning right next to the enemy team and then just dying straight away again. That's always a little disappointing. Always makes me die a little bit more inside. Then there's Entomb and March of the Black King, which we've mentioned before, which we've talked about. They both have their strengths and weaknesses. And, Entomb, if you've got a good team, if you're in Hero League and, try hard mode. So yeah, I am not the best Leoric player in the world. Just take my opinions with a grain of salt. I mean, I've played Leoric a bunch, and as I said, I've got a pretty high win rate, and I've got a fairly high MMR in my opinion. I mean, I'm not pro, I'm not anything. This is just, if you're looking into buying Leoric, and you just want to find something, and you just want to, see some stuff. See how Leoric plays, see what Leoric can do, see what Leoric's capable of. And, this is basically why I made the video. So, thanks for watching, and if you want to see some Leoric gameplay, I'll put up an annotation right now, hopefully, if I'm not too lazy. So yeah, bye.